I call you Joe?
You can.
And you can call me Brian. There we go. Okay. This last election surprised a lot of us. Even the Republicans in this audience were surprised. Did you ever think, what if? Any regrets that you didn't run?
Well, look, I made a commitment, and I mean this sincerely, because I ran so young, and some people in this audience probably know me. On a college campus, I never do anything other than answer the question completely unvarnished and straightforwardly. The answer is that I had planned on running for president. And although it would have been a very difficult primary, I think I could have won. I don't know, maybe not, but I thought I could have won. And I had a lot of data, and I was fairly confident that if I were the Democratic Party's nominee, I had a better than even chance of being president. But I lost part of my soul. Excuse me. My son, Bo, who was the finest man I've ever known in my life, was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware, turned down being appointed to the Senate because he didn't want to have anything handed to him. Volunteered as a prosecutor, a federal prosecutor, to go to Pristina in Kosovo in the middle of the war to help them set up their criminal justice system with the UN. Didn't have to go to Iraq, but when his unit was sent, got a dispensation, and I mean that you have to get a dispensation if you work for the state and you're federalized. You have to get the Defense Department to sign off on allowing you to go. And he had to, as Bill remember, he appointed a Republican Attorney General to take his place. Remember, Bill? Went to Iraq for a year, was highly decorated, the Bronze Star, conspicuous, anyway. And he came back listed as the fittest member of his unit with 8% body fat. And he had what everybody thought was a stroke. But it was misdiagnosed. Turns out it was glioblastoma in the brain, stage 4. And we found that out in the August before I would announce in that February. And my Bo, like my son Hunter, my dad used to have an expression, never complain and never explain. I can say, give him orders to Biden, I never once from the time he was born heard my Bo complain. What he'd say to me, he'd grab me when things were deteriorating and said, Dad, look at me, look at me. When they ask you how I am, tell them I'm fine. He got up and went to work every single day. And his chances were less than 1%, statistically. But we had hope. So what happened was that when I said I would make a decision by the following fall, 1 year before the general election, everybody's announced well before then, the press began to think I was playing a game. But I couldn't tell them about my boy. He didn't want anybody feeling sorry for him. And he wanted me to run. But people who are close say, well, I didn't run because it wasn't good for the family. I have to be honest with you. I didn't run because no man or woman should announce for President of the United States unless they can look the public in the eye and say, I promise you, I'm giving 100% my attention and dedication to this effort. I knew I couldn't do that. I knew I couldn't do it. But because he kept saying, don't announce you're not running, because my son Hunter, my daughter Ashley, my wife, all thought I should, I didn't. But at the end of the day, I just couldn't do it. So I don't regret not running, in the sense that it was the right decision for my boy, for me, for my family at the time. But do I regret not being president? Yes. And I know that sounds, I know what it sounds like, but no man or woman announces for President of the United States unless they honestly believe from their experience they're the best qualified person to do that. And at the time, I thought that the circumstances were such that I was the best qualified. Not every year would you be the best qualified, but the things that I've spent my whole life doing, American foreign policy, the ability to bring people together, the respect on both sides of the aisle. I thought there was a need to bring the country together. And I thought I could have done it. But you know, as my mother would say, everything happens for a reason. And so I'm being as honest as I can possibly be with you. Do I regret not being president? Yes. Do I regret not running for president? In light of what was going on in my life at the time, no, I don't regret. I made the right decision. And my dad would say, you just get up. Just get up. Move. He used to come in and say, when things were down, he'd look at me, Bill, and say, Joey, where's it written that life owes you living? Where's it written? A lot of people have gone through a lot worse than I have without anywhere near the help I have. So I've been lucky, really lucky, and I'm lucky to be able to continue to play some role in hopefully helping determine the direction of the country. It's more than you wanted to know, but that's not essential.